Well, to discuss what's happening in Haiti, we're joined now by Marlene Daut. She's a professor of African diaspora studies at the University of Virginia. Welcome back to France 24, Professor Daut. Thank you for being with us. The UN Security Council is meeting today to discuss what's happening in Haiti. And I wonder what it is you would like to see now from the international community, because there has been some talk of a potential peacekeeping force led by the United Nations. Is that a good idea in your view?
Thank you so much for having me today. A peacekeeping force in Haiti, I think, is not a very good idea at all. The last time UN quote-unquote peacekeepers were sent to Haiti, unfortunately, they leashed a deadly cholera outbreak. And actually cholera, Haiti had never had a cholera outbreak up until that time. Over 800,000 Haitians were infected. More than 10,000 of them died. There were also credible allegations of rape by aid groups and U.S. soldiers. So I think a quote-unquote peacekeeping mission is exactly the wrong thing to do. I think it would be better to proceed cautiously with an investigation, internal and external, to find out who is responsible and then look to the Haitian people themselves for next steps.
Clearly, though, there are concerns at the moment about the security in Haiti. I mean, we understand today, relatively speaking, the situation is calm in Port-au-Prince, although clearly there are real worries about what may happen in the coming weeks and months. What concerns you particularly after this really shocking murder of the president?
I think that the most important thing is yes, for the Haitian people to feel a sense of security. Insecurity is rampant right now, which is one of the reasons why Haitians in Port-au-Prince are likely staying indoors. The reports from people on the ground are that the streets are completely empty. This suggests to me that there is a lot of fear. And so first and foremost, before anything else should happen, the Haitian people need to have a sense of security so that they can actually resume their daily lives while the next steps are taken, which are elections and setting up an interim government in the meantime.
And it is worth pointing out, isn't it, that even before what happened yesterday evening, there was already a serious political but also a humanitarian crisis in Haiti. There were concerns about food shortages, for example. I mean, do you fear that those problems may become worse now?
It's quite possible that they will become worse. The airport, as I understand it, is closed, is not functioning at the moment. And so I do think that the channels of import and export need to remain open, because once again, I think that the most important thing right now is securing the lives and livelihoods of the Haitian people who have truly suffered so much since 2018, when these protests against President Moise began. But beyond that, they suffered from the earthquake, of course, from the UN quote-unquote peacekeeping mission that brought so much instability to the island. And the Haitian people really deserve better than this. And I think that their interests and their lives need to take precedence over any other matter at the moment.
And just finally, I suppose the Haitian people also deserve political stability, and that is something that they've lacked recently. There were those protests against the now deceased president in the past couple of months, and there are concerns now, aren't there, that there could be a power struggle between the interim prime minister and the incoming prime minister. Do you think that that's a likely scenario?
It seems that that's what's happening at the moment, with both men, that is Joseph and Henri, having claimed that sort of they're in charge, or the president of Haiti at the moment. But I think this speaks to the larger problem, that what we've seen in the past when situations like this have happened is that elite men in power then battle over who's going to be in control, and then history just repeats itself. And so again, the Haitian people are the ones who should decide what happens next. They are the ones who should have a say, regardless of whoever Moise had put in charge or was about to install as prime minister. He is no longer there. There is this power vacuum, and I think that other people in Haitian society and in the Haitian population, we need to be looking to some other organizations for the answer, and the answer must come from Haitians themselves.
Marlene Daut talking to us there from the University of Virginia. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us on France 24.
Thank you for having me.